talking about all these skills, there are so many things to learn, but what skills do Malaysians need to focus on in order to be more successful?
Yeah, I think if you were to, just to highlight what, the World Economic Forum have, already shared, you should follow, their website. They publish a very good article from time to time related to future skills. And if I may, I would like to kind of share on the screen as well. So, Catherine, if you can put it up.
Right.
Yeah. So this is from a World Economic Forum. I'm not going to invent something entirely new. And this has been researched upon. And, what we can see here is 2022 skills outlook and the growing skills, right? And what this kind of basically means is that these are the skills that you'll need to have to be future-proof in a sense, to future-proof yourself in a sense. So the top is basically, analytical thinking and innovation. And then I'm just going to cover the top three. Second one is the active learning and learning strategies, right? And that's what I talked about, right? Earlier, one of the students, right? It's about active learning, right? It's not about just sitting there and waiting to be fed, but what are you doing, right? Beside that.
And not necessarily just in the classroom, right? Yeah, that's interesting.
Exactly. And the third is obviously creativity, originality and initiative, and so on and so forth. So I would kind of really, encourage everyone to check out World Economic Forum. And of course, on the right-hand side, these are the declining skills, right? Declining, that doesn't mean that you don't need those skills. What that kind of really means is that it's a given, right? It's a given in which that these are the skills that you need to have, right? Like the last one, number 10, technology use. It's a given nowadays, right? If you tell people that you don't know how to use Microsoft Word, right? Something is definitely wrong somewhere, right? Or nowadays,
that's true, but that's so interesting. I did not expect to be on. I've never seen this. I need to go and subscribe to World Economic Forum right after this. But I did not expect to see technology actually on the declining list. That's just mind blowing to me.
Right. And I would also like to show my second slide. I have two slides here, and this is my favorite. Right, it's the Get Smarter Skills hierarchy. And if you can see here, at the very bottom, so if you know the Maslow
the hierarchy of needs, yeah.
Right, the hierarchy of needs, right? So this is basically skills hierarchy, which I like to kind of refer to. At the very base of it, it's what we call digital capability, right? And basically what this is saying is that expectation on digital capabilities, or sometimes we call it digital literacy, has expanded over the years. And there are also become an assumed skill for everyone, right? Every employee. Like what I've mentioned earlier, what once only included Microsoft Office, right? Now includes like Google G Suite, or recently G Suite changed their name to Workplace. So you need to know all these, like Slack. So my team uses Slack a lot. My students uses Slack a lot, and of course Zoom, right? Everyone is very familiar with Zoom now, and all this acting as a digital skills foundation for every professional role, right? So it's a given. Then if you look at the second stage, where it's what we call a functional expertise, right? Where it's distinguishing skills, defining skills, and necessary skills. And this is basically due to the proliferation of data. And because of that, it has driven the demand for analytical and critical thinking skills. So if you remember the first slide, right, it talks about one of the needed skills is actually critical thinking. right? Doesn't matter from finance and marketing to, other less obvious business functions. The ability to make use of data to interpret information and to extract insights, and this is what we call data science, right? To extract insights that inform decisions is very much needed nowadays in any organization. And then, of course, in terms of interpersonal skills and leadership skills, because software is eating up the world, because AI is eating up the world, in terms of your interpersonal skills and leadership skills, is so much more important nowadays, right? It has become highly sought after, and leaders will kind of really need to effectively drive teams, right, through radical change and uncertainty. We in this area, in these times, we call it, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we call it the VUCA world. We are living in the VUCA world. V stands for volatile, U stands for uncertainty, C stands for complex, A, okay, I can't really recall what's the other C and A. We can find it. Maybe Catherine can find that out, right? So you can search it up. So it's a VUCA world, right? And so this becomes kind of really important, and I'd like to refer to this. So I hope that this is helpful for you, right? So again, digital capability is a given, and then you'll need to have some level of functional expertise, right? And then you definitely need analytical and critical thinking, right? And then, you really need interpersonal and leadership skills to make a difference in your organization. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So it's volatile, it's uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, yes. So this is the world that we are living in right now.
All right, totally interesting stuff as well, and sometimes you are right, it is kind of forced upon us. I'm now daily on Slack as well, and that actually happened because Naluri is a financial wellness app where I'm one of the coaches on, kind of force all the coaches to go on Slack whether you like it or not. So there I am, and I'm adopting that as well. I can't help but also notice that there are a couple of the 3 little circles below, especially the rocket stands out to me. Maybe I'm thinking of, crypto. That's why the rocket stands out to me. But yeah, you want to tell us a little bit about the 3 circles there as well?
Yeah, sure. The 3 circles is more of the color code. It's not so much about the icon. So if you look at the colors, the green, right, is basically the signal abilities that will help you stand out from your competition, which is your analytical and critical thinking. Right, and in Forward School, we basically, teach that through our daily stand-up meetings for our students. So for those who are not, really know about these terms, stand-up is basically in the development world, in the software development world. You have your daily stand-ups meeting where it's basically 15 minutes. Everyone will gather around. And there's just 3 questions that you will need to answer. One is what I've done yesterday.
It's not about there's no chairs, is it, in the meeting room, so everyone is forced to stand? That's not it.
No, we stand because we don't want to get into a habit of telling grandfather story. And because, a functional, agile teams tend not to have too many meetings. And every meeting that we have tend to be very purposeful. So we try not to sit in a round table because that will, make everyone just talk more. So we want to just focus on 3 questions. And the first one is they'll have to articulate what they have done yesterday. The second question is what they plan to do today. And the third question is basically, is there any challenges that will stop me from accomplishing what I want to accomplish today? So they are forced to basically articulate this, and you will be surprised that a lot of the high school students that when they first came in, they just struggle with this, right? They are just not comfortable thinking things through, articulating, and basically standing in front of a small group to share their thinking.
Thanks for the very insightful information. So, so from King Ken, for good people don't sit much one. So keep moving forward.
Yep. And then, sorry, I left halfway, right? Then the color code is the pink, which is skills that allow you to perform your specific functions, your core competency, right? For example, if you are hired as a software engineer, then you have to code, you have to know how to code, right? And not just code, you have to know how to test your code, ensure that your code is clean and proper documentation, right? So that's basically the core competency. If you are hired as an accountant, then it is a given that you will know how you'll know how to do your numbers, right? And then of course the third one is the assumed skills necessary for doing most professional jobs. And that's what I meant by, you will have to know how to use cloud solutions like Google Documents, right? Gone are the days whereby, you have your documents version, 10 or 11, and each
on a floppy disk.
On a floppy disk, right? So everything should be on cloud now. So if your organization is not on cloud, then you better do something.
No, I was just going to comment a bit, and then I have a question for Howie as well. And I totally agree on the core competency what Howie was talking about. So I'm more or less known in more on the personal finance space. I work as a licensed financial planner. A lot of people don't know though that my bachelor's was actually in IT. My bachelor's was actually in computer science. I majored in programming, actually. Right. So I can totally vouch, for what Howie is saying. And I was just actually really just looking through the Forward School website, and it's really cool. I really love your site. What really caught my eye was that you all actually have programs, I believe, on deep learning. I'm really curious to hear more about that deep learning.
So deep learning is thanks for asking, because it's one of our more popular programs. Maybe because they don't understand. So, whatever that they don't understand, they think it's good, right? So
the word deep helps, right? So deep,
the word, yeah. So basically, deep learning is part of AI. So we know that AI is artificial intelligence, and in artificial intelligence, you have your data science, you have your machine learning. Then you have your deep learning. Deep learning is basically a specialized area within machine learning, whereby the users, and most notably when people talk about deep learning, it's about using vision learning, right? So I'm sure you have seen examples of demo of people using camera to learn whatever that is being captured by the video itself, right? They will know that this is a human, and not just that, they know that this human is sitting down or standing up. I'm sure some of y'all might, have seen the demo whereby they can detect whether the person is wearing a mask or not. So all this is deep learning, considered deep learning. Specifically, it's a lot about vision learning as well. One of my
can you give us one? Sorry, you can continue on, but at the end, would love if you could give us a use case as well.
Right. So one, I wanted to share about that. So one of the my investor is actually Vitrox. Vitrox is basically based in Penang, Batu Kawan, but they are a listed co, and they are one of the better performing stocks in Bursa, and they are actually in the electronics as well as semicon industry. And what they do is they build these machines, these high-tech machines, with vision, with deep learning in a sense, with machine learning and using vision, right? And what they do is basically, PCB boards. You have all these electronic boards, right? So they build machines to capture a vision of it And from that vision, they'll be able to identify what is wrong with the board. If there's any, what do we call that? If there's any error, right, in the board. This is just a very simplistic example. And what used to accomplish using human vision now is being done using machine vision in a sense.